Wob wob, this is my intro, wob wob.
Welcome back, Guardians. In this video I wanted to talk about the possibility of a new loot system that could be implemented to Destiny. Now this is all my opinion, theory and hopes more than anything. This probably won't ever exist in the game, but I wanted to talk about it with you guys and get your opinions and thoughts on it. So what is this new loot system that will give better RNG and give people better chances of getting their weapons and armor that they want specifically? It's called the Need, Greed, Pass loot system. Now, if you have ever played any kind of MMORPG, World of Warcraft, things of that nature, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But let me just tell you, people who may not have ever experienced this before. So basically what would happen in World of Warcraft, you would raid and at the end you would kill the boss, and the boss would drop like one piece of armor and one sword, let's say, or one weapon. Now, in that raid, there'd be like 8, 10, 12 people, whatever, I can't even remember what it was. But all those people have a chance to get that one specific weapon. Now, if you put that in terms of Destiny, let's say you run a Nightfall. Now, the Nightfall could reward all 3 people with some kind of legendary item every single week. But the boss also drops a chance of dropping one exotic. And if it does drop one exotic, all 3 people get a chance of winning that exotic. So let's just say, for instance, 3 people run the Nightfall. They run the Nightfall, all 3 of them, for argument's sake, just get a legendary engram. But the boss also drops the Galahorn. Now this is where this system comes into its stride and why it's so good and why it's so rewarding. So let's just say in that Nightfall, all 3 people need the Galahorn. So they get a choice of Need, Greed and Pass. All 3 of them press Need. That means all 3 of them roll a metaphorical dice. Whoever gets the highest number from 1 to 100 wins that item. But what if one person already has the Galahorn and the other 2 need the Galahorn? Well, those 2 people can press Need and have a chance of rolling for that Galahorn, while the other person can either press Greed or Pass. If they press Greed, the 2 people who hit Need get priority. So that betters your chances in that specific Nightfall to get that Galahorn, because you're only fighting against one other person instead of both parties who are running it with you, because that one person who has the Galahorn pressed Pass. So instead of battling it out for that exotic against both people, you're only battling against one person. And even though rolling the dice is completely random who wins, you have a better chance to get it because you're playing against less people, theoretically. Now if you translate this into a raid, let's say you go into a raid and there's 3 sub-bosses in a raid. The first sub-boss drops an exotic piece of armor. That piece of armor might be a warlock armor. In the raid, there's only 2 warlocks. So those other 4 people don't need that specific piece of armor. But as the Destiny system works now, it will just give it to that person anyway, theoretically. It will just give them that piece of armor or weapon, whether they need it or not. So let's just say an exotic weapon drops in a raid. 3 people have it, 3 people don't. 3 people who have it can press Pass, giving the other 3 people a better chance of winning that exotic. But on top of that system working in the way it does, it also adds a level of excitement, enjoyment and addictiveness. That whole quote-unquote gambling feature of rolling the dice, you know, you get excited for it, you get pumped for it. If you can beat your friend in the roll of the dice or not, the reactions itself would be priceless for YouTube. But on top of that as well, it will also increase the longevity of the game. I played PS4 for a month, and I have 3 level 34s. I have a Galahorn, a Hawkmoon, and a Monte Carlo, 2 PS4 exclusives. There's a lot of people who have played for 8 months who haven't got those weapons. So if it was me and I was starting my PS4, first week, let's just say a Galahorn drops for me. I get that Galahorn when someone else might have been playing for longer and needs it. But let's say it drops the Galahorn in the Nightfall when I'm with 2 other people who need it. Now I have less chance of getting that because there's 2 people to roll against. That means that if I don't get it that time, I roll for it the next time. You know, there's that constant want and need to win the roll of the dice to get that item, but it also gives you a better chance if you are playing with people who already have those weapons or armors. Now I hope all that made sense, like I hope it all came across the way I wanted it to come across, but basically it gives you a better chance of getting those weapons. The RNG would still be the same on whether those items drop, but it gives you a better chance of actually winning it and not just giving it to someone random. I mean, if you look at someone like Enraged Cinema who had 16, 17 Galahorns, that's ridiculous. There's a lot of people who don't even get one. let's say he was running with 2 people, a Nightfall, 2 people who needed it. He doesn't need that Galahorn, so he can let the other 2 fight for it. And then that also negates the need of a trading system. Now, Destiny were very worried about a trading system because people could sell their Galahorns on eBay, etc. And rightfully so. A trading system should never be in Destiny because of that reason. But during the Nightfallen raids, give us a chance to give other people those specific weapons or armor by having a need or greed system. That is what I would love to see. But there's also a downside to this. You're running a raid. You're the only person who needs a Galahorn. All other 5 people have it. Galahorn drops. You get excited. Yes, I'm getting my Galahorn. You press need. Someone else that already has it presses need. So they get a chance of winning it as well. That's the only problem with this system, is that there would be trolls. But put it this way, that's what's happening anyway, just without the highlight of rolling the dice for it. Because the Galahorn drops in a raid of 6 people, it goes to any random person. You're already losing that roll of the dice anyway, you're just losing it to more people. So if you was to limit it to just one person who needs it presses need, and then a troll presses need as well, you're only fighting against one other person, you have a better chance of winning. It's basically a 50-50 chance of winning. So I would definitely like to see something like this implemented into a game like this, but it probably won't happen. It's just my theories, my ideas, my opinions. Let me know what you think of it. Hopefully it all made sense. Hit the comment section hard, hit the like button even harder, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thinking I would like